Your ambition, if you have any sense, is actually to become competent. Do you want to be competent and dangerous, or do you want to be vague and useless? It is definitely the case that there is no more exceptional form of the capacity to be dangerous than to be articulate. And so it's a moral endeavor in some real sense. To become articulate is to become the master of your own tongue. Every advantage comes with a disadvantage. So if you're extroverted, you're social and you're positive, but you're impulsive. And you can tilt towards hedonism and you can't stand being alone. No matter where you land in the temperamental landscape, you're going to have your associated faults and temptations. You've got a goal and you'll see that as you progress towards the goal, there'll be obstacles that emerge and some of them you don't want to confront. That's why it's useful to order your room. Chaotic room makes you anxious. Why? Too many pathways, man. People often avoid facing things they don't want to deal with. They just don't think about them. You want a future full of new chances. We are made to climb higher. When you get to the top of a hill, you want to stop and enjoy the view. But then you will want to find a taller hill in the distance. Watch out for unexpected results. It's like thinking, oh no, this will only do what I want and nothing more. But that's not true. What we really want from each other is the real deal, and that's also the journey of your life. So if you aren't honest, which means, sadly, especially at first, you must face your weaknesses with humility. This can be very hard. Without this, you won't have the journey of your life. You will just play the role you accepted. That will take all the joy out of your life. It's important for you to find your place in the world. Have some dreams. Have a plan. Have a target. Have a way to reach it. Try to be a good person, not just because you should, but because it's the right way to live. You sit on your bed and say, okay, I'm ready to learn. What's one thing I'm doing wrong that I know I can change? Think about that, and you'll find an answer. You grow based on the challenges you take on willingly. And we really don't know how far that can go. It's from the hard work that we find our worth, and I mean this in a real way. Most of the good feelings we have, especially the ones that excite us, come from working towards a goal. So in a way, you want a goal that you can never fully reach. That way, you can always get closer to the goal that moves away as you approach it. You might think, well, that's annoying. It's like Sisyphus pushing the rock uphill. But as you chase that goal, you find your strength and your life does improve and become fuller. That's why the highest values and goals are, in a way, beyond us. You want them to be greater than everything you do so you can always aim for something higher and better. That's what you are. You're meant to live, not just exist. The problem with the dream of Mai Tais on the beach is that, first, it represents a state of mind that isn't real. Second, it will only feel good for about a week. Third, you'll end up feeling foolish in a month, sad, lost, and without purpose. No, that's not it. You want a future full of endless possibilities. Sometimes people focus too much on reaching a big goal, thinking that once they achieve it, everything will be perfect. But then they wonder, what now? The answer can't just be to relax and enjoy life without doing anything, like a baby with a bottle. That idea doesn't work because it lacks purpose. Instead, you want to be like a brave warrior, always moving forward and facing challenges. That is exciting. Many people fear the truth because it can lead to conflict. Speaking the truth is definitely a journey, but you can also just share your thoughts and see what happens. That's an adventure too, as you never know the result. There's an old belief that having faith in the truth is important. Here's a way to think about it. When someone asks you a question, you might first consider what answer you want to give. Then, you can plan how to respond. That's one way to do it. Another way is to hear the question, think about it, and just share your honest thoughts. The result doesn't really matter because you're open to whatever comes next. This is based on the idea that the truth will always lead to the best outcome. Even if it's hard and awful at first, and sometimes it is, there doesn't seem to be a better way to do it. You might ask how I know that, and the truth is, I don't know for sure. That's why it's a belief of mine, because I truly believe that being honest creates something good, even if it's tough and often makes you uncomfortable, because it can lead to trouble. One thing I've really learned lately, or learned to explain better, is that there is a close link between having goals and being responsible. The first question might be, do you need to have a goal? The answer is yes, because you need to do something. If you just stay still, you will fail. You can't just stay still. You need to act in the world. So what should you act toward? That depends on what your goal is. You need to have a target. Well, what should that target be? It should be something worth doing, right? Why do something that doesn't feel important? What do you think is worth doing? If you look at others, you often think better of them when they take care of themselves. But do you want to be someone others have to look after? That's pretty sad. Maybe you can get things in order so you're helping yourself and your family. And maybe you can even do more and help your community too. That's great. That's taking responsibility and having a goal. One good thing about this is that your life needs a goal to have meaning. So, you need to know what matters most to you. There must be something at the top that is important. Without it, life feels meaningless. If you criticize the idea of a hierarchy, you take away hope, and then people feel lost. That's not helpful. People need to struggle and carry a heavy load on purpose. It helps them see what they can achieve while they wait for the end. Life is a game, and it should matter. It took me a long time to see that what you believe can affect how you feel. If you show who you are and what you believe but don't get what you want, your body gets ready for action. This happens because you've gone too far from safety and might feel lost. So what do you do next? The answer is, you feel lost. So what should you do when you feel lost? The answer is to get ready to try everything. But the problem is that this is very tiring for your mind and body. It can even hurt you. There is a lot of research showing how this kind of stress affects us. People usually stay where their actions lead to good results. That's one reason you want to be with people who think like you. It's tough for us to be in places where we aren't sure if we will succeed. We really dislike that. Of course, there are different levels of this feeling. You might be completely unsure or just a little unsure. But mostly, we prefer to play it safe. Even if we seem open-minded, we can't handle too much uncertainty. You might wonder, why is that? The answer is simple. You can get hurt, feel pain, you can be harmed, you can become very anxious, and you can die. So it makes sense that you feel sensitive or very sensitive to bad feelings.